All right. Good morning, everybody. I got a couple of announcements today. One of them is super. Did I say super important? Because this can really boost your grade. I've had a lot of requests over the past couple of weeks. Can I go back and redo assignments? Can I go back and retake tests? Can I go back and turn in missing assignments? We all know the answers to that, right? The answer is no, no late work. You got to stay on top of your work. You got 11 days to do it, and you got to do that work in that 11-day frame. So, but what's coming up next week is a little bit of a unique week. Next Friday, so a week from tomorrow, is the end of the first quarter. So it marks the halfway point between school starting and the end of first semester. During conferences, I was asked questions about getting grades up for quarter report cards. So what I really want to stress to people is that quarter report cards, right, the end of the first quarter, is just like an official progress report from the school. So of course I keep Skyward updated, right, on a weekly basis. Every Monday I go up there and update everything. So you can always look in Skyward and see where you're at. But what they want to do is they just want to kind of make sure families and students know where they're at the end of the first quarter. So they send out basically a progress report. This progress report, this grade that you have as of next Friday, does not go against your GPA, does not go on your official transcript. It's literally just that. It's like a progress report. The semester grades are the ones that count, right? Those are the ones that go against your GPA and stuff like that. So nevertheless, right, I still had requests about getting grades up and people showing interest on what they could do to boost their grade. So next week, because it's the end of the first quarter, the district decided not to do any new instruction. So it's basically a week for teachers to do what they want to do in their class. And what I chose is right here in front of you. I'm calling it the optional assignment. Based off of the title, you can tell that it's completely optional. After you get this week's test done, right, Unit 2 test, after you get that done, if you want to take a week off and just whatever, get caught up on, I don't know, whatever you got on your plate, right? Other homework, a TV show, your sleep, whatever, you're more than welcome to. This is completely optional. But I'm going to kind of say some things here in just a minute that will probably convince you to go ahead and do this assignment. The whole purpose of this assignment is to boost your grade. So that means that if you choose not to do it, right, you could see right here, it's worth 28 points. If you choose not to do it at all, it's not going to hurt your grade. Okay, you're not going to lose points. Your grade's not going to drop. If you get a 1 out of 28 or a 5 out of 28, which think about like a test, if you got a 1 out of 28 or a 5 out of 28, that's a pretty bad score, right? And your grade would drop. Well, that's not the case with this. Because this assignment is solely focused, the whole purpose of this assignment is to boost your grade. If you get a 1 out of 28, it's going to boost your grade a little bit, right? If you get a 10 out of 28, it's going to boost your grade a little bit more. A 20 out of 28, even more, right? A 28 out of 28, it's going to boost your grade pretty significantly. When I say significantly, don't be under the illusion that if you have an F or a D, you're automatically going to have an A, because it's not anything like that, right? I think when my coworker and I went in and played around with the grades and adjusted things and just kind of made different scenarios, on average, it was somewhere between 5 and 10%. There's a lot of variables that go into grading. It depends on how many assignments are in the grade book. It depends on how many points you've earned. It depends on how many things you participated in, right? It depends on how much this is worth. So there's a lot of variables, but what I can promise you is that if you do this assignment, even if you get a 1 out of 28 or a 28 out of 28, it'll boost your grade. It'll raise it, okay? So if that's your motivation, and you want to go from something like a C plus to maybe a B minus, I would do that, right? If you want to move from somewhere like a C to maybe a B minus, assuming you do awesome on this thing, it's possible. But don't expect to be jumping like 2 letter grades. I would say at the very most, you might jump 1 letter grade, but that's pretty high. So let me give you kind of the nuts and bolts of it, like the details of it. Like I said, this assignment is completely optional. Choose to do it or not. It's completely up to you. I would say you're crazy if you don't do it, because like I said, even if you get a 1 out of 28, it's going to boost you up, right? Um, this is a one-time only thing. So between yesterday, because remember, all of next week's stuff always unlocks early on the Wednesday prior. So as of yesterday, this was posted, and then it's available all the way until you could see right here, November 15th. So you have that 11 days to knock out this optional assignment. Like I said, this is a one-time only thing. You can't retake this and retake it once, twice, however many times you think. This is a one and done thing. So make sure before you open this optional assignment and you start it, make sure you're prepped and ready to go. Okay. This optional assignment will cover everything that we've seen so far. So basically everything from quarter one, everything from unit 1 and unit 2. So you can always go back to each section and review the material, look at your notes. Like always on any assessment, you can always use your notes, right? Use a calculator, use a friend, use a parent. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, right? It's kind of free game as in this environment right now. So do whatever, I'll put it this way, do whatever you have to do to be successful on this thing. If that makes sense. Okay. Like I said, it's a one and done thing. You can't retake it. There's no time limit. So, don't feel rushed or anything like that. There's no time limit. Anything else? If you choose not to participate in it, it will just go in the grade book as an asterisk, which kind of looks like a little snowflake. And that means that it doesn't count for or against your grade. It doesn't count towards or against it. It's just kind of like a neutral thing. It just doesn't count towards you. So completely up to you. Again, I think you're crazy if you don't do it, but I would take advantage of it if you're one of those people that want to boost your grade. That was a lot of information, so I want to pause for a second to make sure that I don't have any questions. Don't forget, I can't see the chat box because I'm sharing my screen, so just unmute yourself and let me know. All right. After class ends, right, like always, people that want to hang back and ask questions about this or about the assignment, or I guess this week the test, feel free to just hang back and we could talk about things. On your plate for this week, though, which we talked about on Tuesday, was the Unit 2 test. So this is available until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Make sure you get it done by then and submitted. I've had a couple of instances, I think 2 separate people that said that they completed like an essential question or something in the past, and then they thought they submitted it, but it didn't go through. So what I'm kind of stressing to people yesterday and today is anytime you submit something, an assignment or whatever, a test, back out and go back in and make sure that it's submitted, right? Make sure everything went good, just because then it kind of covers your bases and there's no confusion later on. And you get everything in on time. So those 2 things are all I have to share with you. I'm going to let people that are late in pause for questions. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Hello, Mr. Chapman.
Hey, Jose. So I see a couple things in the chat box. Is the optional assignment due this week? No. Remember, that's what I said was unlocked yesterday, and it's due Sunday the 15th. It says the 15th. So on there. Oh, so that's probably the due date. Correct. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay. Are we still having Zoom meetings next week? Yes. Great question. Are we having Zoom meetings even though it's conference, or not conference week, end of the quarter week? Yes. The only different thing the district decided to do was to not hold any new instruction. So it's still going to be a quick meet. I'll log in, say hi to everybody, just make sure everybody's good to go with that assignment, and hang back and answer questions for people. So next week, I'm assuming things will go pretty quick on Tuesday for you guys. On Thursday, the next week's stuff will be unlocked. So on Thursday, we'll go through the next week's material. So that might be a normal, 5 to 10 minute class session. So awesome questions. Good job. All right. That's all I have for you. So everybody that has questions or wants to talk about anything, please hang back. Everybody else, I hope you have an awesome weekend. It's supposed to be nice, so enjoy it. See ya.
Have a nice day.
Bye. You too. Bye, Jose. Bye, Lillian. Hey, Nathan, you got a question, man? All right.